Hello, good evening. Very warm welcome to all of you. Let me switch off my television. Second. Okay, so how are you all doing? Questions dialog box, please, and raise hands. We just 15 people so far in the session, expecting more people to join. Once most people have joined, I will make the announcements. Here we go. Thank you, Anas. I'm very well. Let me switch on the questions dialog box as well. All right, here it is. Yeah, so how has the increase your productivity and efficiency sessions been? Learnings, helpful, not very helpful, already knew this much. The particular perspective with which this information was shared wasn't very relevant, or was it helpful? Need your feedback. Okay, I'm looking at the questions dialog box. Okay, yep, guys saying really enjoyed the insights and details. Sajid, good learning. I mean, when I'm asking you this question, I'm particularly looking at application of these concepts in the workplace. So I want your responses from that particular perspective. Learning can really be very good if you get to see things that you didn't know in the past. That's learning. But will all this be helpful in your workplace? That's my question. Muzaffar Hussain saying helpful sessions indeed. Thank you, Muzaffar. Yes, Anas, I can unmute you. I can see you. I've seen your hand raised. Give me a second. Yep, go on. You're unmuted. You, Anas. Sorry, Anas, we can't hear you. Sorry, I think you need to reconnect. Your audio is not clear. So why don't you sign out and sign in again? Anybody else wants to share? Okay, I think Omar has come up with a different perspective. To be honest, couldn't do it in affiliation celebrations. Omar, do you want to elaborate? Omar Essen, I can unmute you. Speak. Yes, Omar, you've been unmuted. Omar Essen, your comment isn't very clear, so I thought you should share it verbally. No. All right. Anybody else? So the Microsoft applications on one side and the Power BI application on the other. Do you think this was a good mix of future-ready skills that you need in the workplace? Do you think this was a good mix? We could have simply ignored Microsoft applications, but um, my thinking was that no matter what, Microsoft applications and your proficiency, your efficiency of these applications is really really important. So rather than just broadly uh, talking about the very basic concepts, why not pitch it at a higher level? Why not pitch it at the level at which these sessions should be a contribution, should be something to top up your knowledge with. Okay, so Anas is writing saying I was saying these sessions were very helpful. The best thing was that we practiced by using financial data, which was a uh, great thing for us. Yes, I think that's right, Anas. See, my perspective on this was that this will have to be as much close to reality as possible. We cannot just be very far away from reality, start talking about those features of those applications which are either not relevant, or we don't know the application of these in real life. So that was the perspective, and that's exactly why there were so many tasks assigned, why you were given all that data to work with. I know for a fact that quite a few of you haven't tried your luck with those assignments and tasks, and I've gone a little bit lenient on this. But believe you me, those who have, they will, um, I'm sure they will find it much more interesting and much more useful, as opposed to those who have just seen what's happening on, in the sessions and just try to learn with it. Um, when I'm seeing Olympics and I am seeing all these swimmers, jumping off the springboard into the pool, um, swimming very fast, breaststroke, um, uh, and the front stroke, the back stroke. So all these, they look very easy. They look very, oh, see, the person has got a lot of stamina, and therefore got a lead. But in real life, it's so different. The life in that pool is very different, right? You need to, I mean, if you're exactly applying that, that situation to what was happening in the session, if you see Khurram or Ali Ashraf or somebody else demonstrating different tasks to you, mail merge, this is how you apply conditions, etc. It all seems very easy. It all seems hunky dory. But the day you sit down to apply it yourself to a situation, that is where you'll feel the limitation. So, as much as you can practice these skills on your own, it'll be very helpful. Zahra Azam is saying Power BI was all new for me. Likewise, Power BI is not my forte, I know. And I can tell you, just these 4 or 5 sessions on Power BI is not enough. I mean, we've just seen the user perspective, the user end of Power BI. There's a developer side also. But the question is, do you need to learn all that? Or do you need to learn the user side, the user perspective, to the nth detail, to the details, with which you really become a master of, of the user end of Power BI. So my suggestion, focus on the task at hand. Look at the learnings that will help you in the workplace. Um, and and practice as much as possible. Practice. um, Iman Rashid is saying
that these sessions were very helpful. They were able to apply Excel concepts at my workplace. Excellent, Iman. Do practice these a lot. And the focus has to be, and now that you've learned these skills, you need to show them off. You need to, show the community around you, the office workers around you, your line management, your head of the organization, that you are the most precious resource in that organization with the new skills that you've got. You need to show off those skills, and there's a very subtle way of doing that. Yeah. Umar Hassan is saying Power BI was really value adding. It's going to help a lot in data analysis from an innovative perspective. I agree. I agree. That's exactly why we brought it in. Yabka is saying, I personally really benefited and discovered so many new concepts in Microsoft Office. Uh, Even though I missed some live sessions, which I covered by recording, overall, these sessions really have boosted my morale to work. Excellent, excellent. Yabka, thank you very much. Really encouraging to know all this. Um, Sarah is saying, I showed off my tax calculator to my husband, CA himself. All right, okay, excellent. Not a bad thing to do. Excellent. So, so I think that's what you need to do in your workplace as well. Try to impress people around you. Okay. So that's what it was like. All right. Hasnan Mahmood has sent in a comment saying, I totally agree with the perspective. As soon as I started practicing on my own, I faced quite a few difficulties. Exactly. I said so. Yeah, exactly. But the recording proved to be helpful. I also shared the learning with my colleagues, which further helped me. Excellent. Very good. So I think that's the spirit. Um, Remember, in the six digits session, of course, we can't make you an expert in these number of hours. If you ask me, 100 hours is just not enough. uh, it should have been 1,000 hours or 2,000 hours and continuous learning. But what we've aimed to do is that we have tried to show you how to learn new concepts, how to learn new skills, how to apply them. I mean, giving you a perspective. um, Nobody will be able to do hand holding throughout your life. Nobody will be able to tell you, all right, let's now do this, this is how it is done. You will have to self learn. You will have to have that interest. And I was very glad to notice when some of the people were, I read the chat in the WhatsApp group, and late in the night, that's my that's my end of the day closure. So I normally go through all the chats and see which ones need to be responded to. So I noticed some of you were saying that these concepts have also been explained through various YouTube videos, through Microsoft Online support, through the help available in these softwares. So yes, exactly, they're there. Yeah. And you know um, um, we don't want you to just stick with what has been shared with you through the six digits program, and don't think beyond that. The whole purpose was to get you to a stage from where you can start your self learning for the rest of your career as well. If you stop here once again, yes, you will see some progress, you will see improvement, but that improvement will also then slow down. This process should not stop. This process should continue and continue faster. Yeah. So that should be your focus. That is what you need to do. um, I can give you various examples where um, you know uh, in trying to understand the concept, there was so much help available online, that it wasn't very difficult at all learning these new concepts. Yeah. So Asad Rafiq's comment, it was just amazing, although already knew some things. Yeah. Yet enjoyed and learned a lot of new things. And this is why I kept saying to myself, ACC has separated me from crowd by bringing valuable changes in myself. Excellent, Asad. Excellent. I can see that change as well. Um, okay. Anas is saying, as I said, these concepts are everywhere, but the practice element is missing. As we used financial data, there you will not find such data. Yeah, exactly. So um, even the data is also available online. I mean, this data that we use about banks and defaults, etc. This data was available online, and we got hold of it from there. So even this data is available. But my suggestion to you will be, try to find a situation, a data available within your organization, right? And then do this analysis. You will enjoy even more. And the findings, the results, you will feel proud of sharing it with your organization. So try doing that as much as possible. Nadeem Anjum, I don't think there is an issue with the audio from my side. I can see all green bars. Um, yeah, over here. So uh, if you're facing an issue, try fixing your net. Just as I spoke, these lines turned orange and red. So, all right, never mind. That's what it is like. We still have about 28 individuals in the session today. That's very few. However, now let's move on to the case studies. Have you all seen the case study that I shared with you? And let me move the menus away. Zahra is saying read 9 pages. Sarah Batul is saying yes. Do we have ACCA members too in this session? No, Anas. This is only future members. So now future members are going to do a separate case study. Your case study is Netflix. Uh, the members are going to do another case study, um, which is Tesla. Yeah, even that one is available, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, Asad is saying yes, he's gone through it. Nadeem Anjum is saying please share again. I didn't see it. So Nadeem, if you have received my email that I sent out yesterday around the same time, please look at that. There is a link available in there, or otherwise go to the chat, the WhatsApp group. I'm sorry, not the chat, the WhatsApp group. Feroz has posted the case study, the link to the case study in there as well. If not, I would request any of the participants who've read the case study, please share it in the WhatsApp group once again. Nadeem, you will need to read it sooner the better. All right. So what is the plan today? Let me very quickly share the plan with you, and then we will come back and have a conversation about it. So this is what just a second. This is what we're going to do today. From here, we are going to switch over to Microsoft Teams. Okay, we're going to switch over to Microsoft Teams. We are going to use the same link as your Saturday's unmoderated session. So use the same link and you will be able to join today's session as well. Once all of you have joined Microsoft Teams, you leave go to webinar. Once you've joined there, I will divide you into groups and will send you into breakout rooms. And looking at the number, so for example, over here, if we have 30 individuals, we're 27 right now. So I'm imagining 30. We will divide you into groups of six, which means 5 groups. 6 5s are 30. So that's what we're going to do. I'll divide you into groups, and then once into groups, you're going to discuss the presentation, the case study. What are you going to discuss? Look at the screen. These learning objectives. Okay, so there are these 5 learning objectives or 5 questions, as you may call them. You have to discuss these amongst yourselves first, have an opinion, have a consensus within the group about this, and then once you've had a consensus, right, then you need to go back and prepare a presentation on this. Okay, maximum 8 slides, maximum 8 slides, no more. Now you have to have to use your skills on reading, right? Reading important information out of a very long case study, not a very long case study, but a long case study. Number two, you have to use your judgment to talk high level. Yeah, talk high level, right? Do not go into details which are not required. And therefore, from all the content available, and these 5 questions to answer, the maximum number of slides I can allow is going to be 8. If you've made 20 slides or 10 slides, the last I mean, I will only consider the first 8 slides and we'll ignore the rest, whatever information is in them. So that's how we're going to assess if you've been able to skim that content adequately. Then, um, use your presentation skills. Remember the session conducted by Ali Ashraf. I think it was an excellent session. Use infographics as much as possible rather than making your slides look like what I have done over here, points and a lot of text. Rather than that, you have to use infographics. Okay, so prepare slides using infographics. So use infographics, and then what we're going to do is on Saturday, which means you're going to have today's day and you're going to have Thursday. But then on Saturday, I'm going to invite a guest from outside to come in and join us. You're going to make presentations. If you're 5 groups, so we're going to make 5 presentations, 10 minutes presentation only, right? So you're going to run those 8 slides in 10 minutes, which means less than a minute per slide, right? And remember one thing: the shorter the number of slides, the shorter the duration of the presentation, the more difficult it is to prepare it. Remember that, right? The more difficult it is to present it, right? There will come a lot of situations where you will have to decide whether to skip this information or put it in. Is this information very, very critical, or is it not important? Okay. Remember questioning techniques, right? What, why, not as much about how, but what, why, right? But at the same time, there may be some how situations that you'll have to address as well. All right, so that's as much about the case study. This case study is an award-winning case study. It's a very recent one. It was developed in 2020. An award-winning case study which was put together by MIT, the Massachusetts Information Technology. So, and one of the best case studies that there is on this this case study center that we have a subscription to, and I've picked it up from there. Remember, this case study is protected by intellectual property. So if you've read the case study, on the side it says that this case study has been issued to Harun Ahmadjan for use of in the 6 digits program. So please do not share it on with other people. It is protected by intellectual property rights, right? Use it for the specific purpose. But interesting reading. Another thing, when you have read such interesting case studies, automatically you will feel that when you're talking to people, when you're discussing different when you're in a conversation with friends or colleagues at work or at home, this information would all automatically start reflecting in your discussions, right? You will automatically start quoting the Netflix and the Bollywood case and the Netflix presence in Pakistan, and how was the decision taken? What was the key issues that they were trying to address, etc. How was the competition like? So automatically this content is going to come into your discussion, which will show you as knowledgeable, which will show you as more analytical, which will showcase your depth of the knowledge. So all this is going to start to help you a lot. So without any further ado, and by the way, this abstract had also been shared in yesterday's email, right? It gives you a very brief summary of what this case study is all about. So the journey of Netflix from renting out DVDs by mail. I didn't know that Netflix used to rent out DVDs by mail to the world's leading streaming video on demand service provider. And at the same time, when Netflix became an SVOD, there were a lot of other organizations, Amazon, for example, or and if you have a smart TV, I'm sure you can see a lot of other SVODs there, and that is when Netflix started to discuss an opportunity of expanding beyond their original market, expanding into India. But India, a very price sensitive market, had other considerations, and that's what the case study mainly discusses. So I think let me stop here. I don't want to continue. We have 31 individuals, which means again we are going to limit to 5 groups. So 5 groups, 4 groups of 6 and 1 group of 7, right? If we have more individuals joining in, then we'll have to decide. We will have to put them into new groups. But what we're going to do is um, use the Microsoft Teams link, the same link that you used for Saturday to join the meeting, the unmoderated meeting. Drop out of this session from GoToWebinar, leave this room, go to Microsoft Teams, and join that Teams meeting there. I will be there to see you as well. So let me start that meeting so that you can very quickly go and join it as well. Okay. So I've just opened it up and now the room will be available for you to join. So you can sign out from GoToWebinar and you can start joining the Teams session. If you're still there in GoToWebinar, I would imagine that you are not, you haven't understood me. Okay, so I'll keep repeating this announcement till everybody has left GoToWebinar and have joined the Microsoft Teams session. Remember, you have to exit from GoToWebinar, leave the webinar, leave this webinar and join Microsoft Teams. I want all 31 of you there. Okay, there's still about 15 individuals in this session. Please leave this session and join the join the Microsoft Teams session. I'm going to call out the names of people who are still here. Abdul Wahab, Muhammad Ali Mansha, Irfan Ali, Muhammad Imran Hussain, Muhammad Mohsinuddin, Muhammad Hamdan Qadri, Muhammad Roman Salim, Muhammad Usman Aslam, Sufyan Ashraf, Sayyida Naqvi, Umair Ijaz, Waqas Ahmad Khan, and Yabka Kundi. So if you're unable to find the link, these individuals, I'm going to share the link with you over here. Just give me a second for that. 14 individuals still waiting here. 14 individuals still waiting in this room. If you can't find the link, please very quickly look at the chat box. I have shared the link with all of you. Use this link to join in. All right, so I'm going to end this webinar now. Everybody will be removed from the webinar. Please join Microsoft Teams. You're on your own now. Microsoft Teams. Guys, see you there.